Gita addresses this duty, swadharma, in great detail. And when we look at what is swadharma, individual duty, personal duty, it consists of two important things. One is what we can call common duties, samanya duties, which is common to everybody. And then there is something unique, because there are things each and every one of us must be doing, which come under common duties. And then there are unique duties which are special, visesha, to each and every one of us. Example, common duties. Satya, ahimsa, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya. These are all common duties that we must be performing. So when I said work and duty, work becomes duty when it is rooted in satya, truthfulness. Work becomes duty when it is rooted in ahimsa, non-violence. Work becomes duty when it is rooted in asteya, non-stealing. Work becomes duty when it is rooted in aparigraha, non-coveting, no greed. Brahmacharya, moderation, disciplined way of life and living. All these are common to everybody, irrespective of profession, irrespective of the station in life. Any work can become duty only when these common duties are performed. This is common to each and every one. And then there is something unique to each and every one of us. This is where Varna comes in, which is unique to every individual. Varna, Ashrama, Kala, Desha, Apada. In Mahabharata, Bhishma gives an extensive discourse on each and every one of them. Now, last week we were relishing Bhishma's sixth, but before hitting the sixth, Bhishma goes through at length on dharma. He takes up Varna Dharma, he takes up Ashrama Dharma, he takes up Kala Dharma. Dharma depending on time. Dharma can change depending on time. Desha Dharma, Dharma can change. Whether if you are in Bharata or if you are outside Bharata. Bharata is Karma Bhumi. So depending on where we are, Desha, Kala, Apad Dharma. Apad Dharma. Sometimes we may have to break certain laws, certain rules, certain rituals. There are exceptions. We are very, very keen to know these exceptions. When we go and discuss dharma, the first thing we want to know is, please tell us the exceptions, because exceptions always become norm for us. So therefore, swadharma comprises of two things, what is common and what is unique. And today we are going to discuss one aspect of the unique dharma, the visesha dharma, which is Varna Dharma. Now, Varna Dharma and Ashrama Dharma go in hand in hand. That is why normally the Shastras talk about Varnashrama Dharma. Varna, Ashrama. Ashrama is various stages in life. We know popularly the Ashrama Dharma is categorized also into four: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sanyāsa. Now, what is the purpose for Ashrama Dharma? What is the purpose for Varna Dharma? Our Shastras are so very methodical, so very scientific, very analytical. Ashrama Dharma is for individual progress. Varna Dharma is for social progress, social harmony. We are all social beings. A human is a social being. We are connected to each other. Whether we realize it or not, we are all interdependent. We think we are independent, but we are not. The reality is that we are all interdependent. And therefore, when we are interdependent, it is important to realize that the interdependency, these relationships need to be governed by certain laws. And if there has to be harmony, there has to be alignment of the duties that are done as a group in a society. And that is the reason why Varna Dharma addresses the topic of social harmony. Ashrama Dharma addresses the topic of individual growth. No, we need individual growth, we need social harmony in order for holistic, all-round progress that we can make in our life and living. Now let's look at Varna Dharma. Brahmanosya mukhamāsīt bahu rājanya-kritaha ūru tadasya yadvaishyaha padbhyāgum shūdro ajāyata. If we have to find the source for Varnas, we have to go way back to the mother of all Shastras, Purusha Sukta, Rigveda. So Varna Dharma is not something invented by mankind. Varna Dharma is revealed because it is part of the Vedas. Vedas are Shabda Pramana. They are revealed to us. And therefore, the very source of Varna Dharma, we can trace it back to the Purusha Sukta of Rigveda. Brahmanosya mukhamāsīt bahu rājanya-kritaha ūru tadasya yadvaishyaha padbhyāgum shūdro ajāya. The Purusha Sukta is so very exhilarating. We can experience the Virata Purusha. We can understand Bhagavan's Swarupa, Rupa, Vibhuti, Aishwarya through the Purusha Sukta, and the Purusha Sukta is talking about the cosmic being, the supreme being, and talking about in the process of explaining creation, the Veda declares that various classes of human beings emanate from different parts of that Virata Purusha. Narayana is in his Virata Purusha form, and as part of creation, the whole creation emanates. There was one at the time of Pralaya, the one becomes the many. Srishti is the one becoming the many, and Pralaya is the many becoming the one. And every being, everything that is created emanates from that one supreme being. And the Purusha Sukta declares, Brahmanosya mukhamāsīt. The Brahmanas emanate from the divine head of Bhagavan, from his mouth. Brahmanosya mukhamāsīt bahu rājanya-kritaha. From the arms emanate Kshatriyas. Padbhyāgum bahu rājanya-kritaha. Padbhyāgum shūdro ajāyata. Ūru tadasya yadvaishyaha. From the thighs emanate Vaishyas. And from the divine lotus feet emanate Shudras. This is creation. The words Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are all part of our Vedas. Today we feel very shy of using these terms without really understanding what they mean. And the very term of Varna and the terms of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya immediately gives us some kind of a perception of discrimination and superiority, inferiority. Now, the common misunderstanding is Shudras are discriminated and they are the lowest rung. Now, where did they, if we just have to go back to Purusha Sukta and see, where did they originate from? They originated from the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan. And if we have to ask ourselves, what do the Shastras recommend? That we need to surrender to the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan. Divine lotus feet of Bhagavan is in fact given the greatest of importance by Shastras, and it is that which is the source for the emanation of Shudras. So therefore, where is the discrimination of Shudras being of lower category? There is no stratification whatsoever. Now, we need to now take this declaration in the Purusha Sukta and understand how we can look at each of these classes in the Varna. Before we do that, let us understand Varna a little bit more. Varna refers to two things. Varna refers to swadharma chosen by each individual according to one's swabhava. Now, these terms we need to keep repeating, and eventually we will have clarity on what they stand for. Swabhava. Swabhava means nature, characteristic. Swadharma, personal duty, individual duty. So Varna refers to swadharma chosen by an individual according to one's swabhava, according to one's nature, characteristics. Or Varna can directly refer to the swabhava itself, the nature itself, that one, which drives one to choose whatever one works. Both ways refer to Varna. Now, if we look at how we operate in society and how society operates, we are all interdependent to each other. No, one cannot be totally independent. Why? Because we are all striving for perfection. And when we are imperfect, we are dependent. Until we reach perfection, the dependence will continue. We are dependent on others to contribute to our own well-being. This is how society functions, whether we realize it or not. Therefore, when there is dependence on others, this need for dependence, this need for mutual interdependence in the society calls for certain laws to govern. No, when there is giving and taking in the society in various forms has to be governed. And this system of organization is what Varna system is all about. Thus, when there is giving and taking, which means there are different contributors, there are different roles that people play in a society. Now we are looking at this conceptually in a society. For a society to evolve, progress, function, and to be harmonious, it is quite clear for us that there are fundamentally 4 roles that are needed. The role of a thinker, somebody who can think, somebody who can plan, somebody who can guide, somebody who has the knowledge and can guide others, advise others, somebody with the right kind of knowledge which can then help promote welfare of everyone. Then thinkers alone are not enough. We need doers. Thinking is important. The thinking then has to be executed. So then another role is the role of the doers. Somebody based on the guidance given can actually execute, can administer, can bring order for the sake of welfare of the society. Now, for those doers and thinkers, there are needs that need to be taken care of. So there has to be a role which needs to support economic sustenance of all others in the society. So you can call them the accumulators. And we need, for all of these roles, a fundamental role, a very, very important role, the role of supporters. Pillars who will support the entire edifice of the society. So therefore, it becomes quite apparent, for any harmonious functioning of a society, we need thinkers, we need doers, we need accumulators, and we need supporters. To summarize, conceptually, any harmonious society therefore needs 4 roles: thinkers, doers, accumulators, supporters. Now, let's once again go back to the analogy of a human body, because this is something which we can easily relate to. The human body is one integrated organic whole. It is one integrated organic whole, functioning as a whole. We don't say, the hand alone is working. The hand is working means the body is working. The hand is working for the body. Where the legs are walking, the whole body is walking. The legs are walking on behalf of the body. The mouth is speaking. The mouth alone is not speaking. The mouth is speaking on behalf of the body. So every part is actually doing a duty on behalf of the whole to which it belongs. So the body is supported by legs, the feet, which stand firmly on the ground. The legs are connected to the main trunk through the thighs, which provide the required support. Visualize the human body. The feet that supports the body to stay firm on the ground. The thighs, which then provide the support to stand erect. The arms, which are connected to the main trunk, carry out the actions. And then we have the body, and then you have the head and the mouth to speak out the wisdom that the mind generates. What we see here is there is a cooperative mechanism. Every part is actually working together for the sake of one goal, that this body should be working as one unit. The legs do not question, hey, why should I be walking when the hands are resting? The mouth is not saying, why should I be talking when my eyes are closed? So every part knows that it has a duty to perform. There is no question asked. And every part functions for the harmonious working of the whole. So therefore, and no part is inferior or superior. Just because the feet are on the ground, they are not inferior. In fact, if the feet are not on the ground, we have a problem. Every part becomes important. Now this human body helps us to understand how a society can also function harmoniously. Now the human body functions harmoniously. The society is like the human body or organic whole. The society needs the services of feet-like contributors who will serve all. If there are no feet-like contributors, who will serve? Everybody just cannot be sitting and thinking. Somebody has to carry out the actions, serve others. The body of a society needs to stand erect when its thigh-like contributors create wealth. The society needs thigh-like contributors. Somebody has to create the wealth for the sake of others. The society has to be defended, protected, administered by the arms-like contributors. I'm using the word contributors. Each part is contributing. Contributing has to be understood as giving more than taking. Because why? Every part is taking. The feet, the thighs, the arms, the head, they are taking because the body is providing the nourishment to all the parts. The body is taking care of the welfare of every part. But the part doesn't pause for a moment and ask this question, what's in it for me? Let me get something before I give something. Whereas we always start the question asking, what's in it for me? Why should I be doing this? Why can't he be doing? Why can't she be doing? Now, so every part is working for the welfare of the whole, and in that process, its own interest is taken care. Therefore, the society and the head guides, the head-like contributor guides the well-being through wisdom. So we see here, the analogy of a human body applies very well to another organic whole, which is society. So therefore, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, when clearly understood, we see that these are roles, these are designated contributors in a society for the harmonious functioning of the society. Not only functioning, but transforming as well. Because if the society has to evolve and progress, when we say Ramarajya is not a static system. There is continuous progress. Every individual is progressing. Everybody is sharing the welfare because the society is not static, it is progressing. There is no deterioration. Why it is happening? Because of the functioning of this Varna system that is prescribed in our Shastras.